No.
Your Majesty, are you alright?
Summon all my wise men. No, wait. Forget those useless fools. Summon Belteshazzar.
Your Highness, Belteshazzar at your service. You summoned me.
Belteshazzar, chief of the magicians. I know that the spirit of the holy gods is in you, and no mystery is too difficult for you. Here is my dream. Interpret it for me. I looked, and there before me stood a tree in the middle of the land. Its height was enormous. The tree grew large and strong, and its top touched the sky. It was visible to the ends of the earth. Its leaves were beautiful, its fruit abundant, and on it was food for all. Under it, wild animals found shelter, and birds lived in its branches. From it, every creature was fed. Suddenly, a messenger descended from heaven and called out in a loud voice, "Cut down the tree and trim off its branches. Let the animals flee from under it and the birds from its branches. But let the stump and its roots bound with iron and bronze remain in the ground. Let him be drenched with the dew of heaven, and let him graze with the beasts on the grass of the earth, and let his mind be changed from that of a man to that of an animal, till 7 times pass by him." This is the dream that I had. Now, Belteshazzar, tell me what it means.
My lord, if only the dream applied to your enemies and its meaning to your adversaries. The tree you saw, which grew large and strong, you are that tree. You have become great and strong. Your greatness has grown until it reaches the sky. Your Majesty saw a holy messenger from heaven saying, "Cut down the tree and destroy it, but leave the stump. Let him be drenched with rain and live among the wild animals." Your Majesty, this is the decree from heaven against you. You will be driven away from people and will live with the wild animals. You will eat grass like the ox and be drenched with the dew of heaven. 7 times will pass by for you until you acknowledge that the Most High is sovereign over all kingdoms on earth and gives them to anyone he wishes. The command to leave the stump of the tree with its roots means that your kingdom will be restored to you when you acknowledge that heaven rules. Therefore, Your Majesty, be pleased to accept my advice. Renounce your sins by doing what is right, and your wickedness by being kind to the oppressed. It may be that then your prosperity will continue.
Leave me. Is this not the great Babylon I have built by my mighty power, for my own glory? Immediately, what had been said about Nebuchadnezzar was fulfilled. He was driven away from people, and ate grass like the ox and lived among the wild animals. At the end of that time, Nebuchadnezzar raised his eyes toward heaven, and he was restored and exalted until the time he died. Because his ways are...
After Nebuchadnezzar's passing, his successor, Belshazzar, became king.
Come, have some more wine. Men, bring the gold and silver goblets that Nebuchadnezzar, my predecessor, had taken from the temple of Jerusalem, so that I, King Belshazzar, and my nobles, wives, and concubines can drink from them. Praise the gods of gold and silver for these drinking vessels. Where are the diviners and enchanters? Come forward and read these writings. Whoever tells me what it means will be clothed in purple and have a gold chain placed around his neck, and he will be made the 3rd highest ruler in the kingdom. Can no one tell me what this means?
Do not be alarmed, my husband. There is a man in your kingdom, Daniel, whom your predecessors named Belteshazzar. He has the spirit of the holy gods in him. In the time of your predecessor, he was found to have insight and wisdom of the gods, and your predecessor appointed him chief of the wise men.
Then summon him. Are you Daniel? I've heard that the spirit of the gods is in you, and that you have insight, intelligence, and outstanding wisdom. My own wise men and enchanters could not read the writings on the wall, nor explain to me what has happened. If you can tell me what these mean, you will be well rewarded.
You may keep your gifts to yourself and give your rewards to someone else. Nevertheless, I will read the writing for the king and tell him what it means. Your Majesty, the Most High God gave your predecessor, Nebuchadnezzar, sovereignty and greatness, and made all nations fear him. But his heart became arrogant and prideful, and the Most High deposed him of his royal throne and stripped him of his glory until he acknowledged that the Most High is sovereign over all. But you, Belshazzar, his successor, have not humbled yourself, though you knew all these. Instead, you set yourself up against the Lord of heaven. You defiled the temple goblet and did not honor the God who holds your life in his hands. Therefore, he sent the hand to write these inscriptions on the wall. Mene, Mene, Tekel Upharsin. Here is what it means. God has numbered the days of your reign and brought it to an end. You have been judged and found guilty, and your kingdom will be divided and handed over to invaders.
Then, at Belshazzar's command, Daniel was clothed in purple. A gold chain was placed around his neck, and he was promoted. That very night, Belshazzar, king of the Babylons, was slain.